we are also live casting because many people, as you can tell, are out of town already or not here tonight. So this will be live cast. Some of them are watching it now. Others will be able to watch this because it will be on our website as soon as we're done. Or tonight, whenever Gareth gets it up onto the website. So we're going to open with a treatment by Reverend Nancy. So Reverend Nancy, if you could come up and treat us in.
Childlike one. See what's under my Christmas tree. Because I know it's all God. So whatever's under my tree, I know is the most awesome expression of infinite divine love. Higher, wider, deeper, more than ever before. More to give and more to receive. We're learning now to receive. We all know how to give, but in this awesomeness, in this godness, in this ocean of expression of love, we are open to receive as well. And in the receiving, we're blessing the givers. And so there is this never-ending circle of love and givingness. And so I know that this moment now is all taking place in that one mind, in that one infinite knower. It is already complete. Everything that has needed to be said has been spoken, heard, known, accepted, felt, shared. And I know that it is good and very, very, very good because it comes from this high place of knowing. It comes from the infinite knower whose mind we're all thinking with and speaking with. So how could it be anything but divine? So I know that it is harmonious. I know that it is orderly. I know that it is positive and prosperous and good in every way. And for this, I am deeply grateful. And I release this word into the law as law, knowing it is done. We all say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Nancy. I'm going to leave these up here for anyone. Okay, so I'm going to start by introducing the board. And just raise your hand. I'm sure everybody knows who you are. But on our board, Zachary Goodson. There you go. Eric Bork. Eric is in charge of teen fundraising, and he is also a practitioner in training. Sean Scanlon, who is a practitioner in training. Reverend Sharon Kelly. She is our secretary and in charge of pastoral care. Jennifer O'Neill, who has been our treasurer. Marcy Welland, who is the director of operations. And I am the president of the board. I think you all know who I am. And Barbara Shane, who is right there. Just you all know who Barbara Shane is. She is the board adjunct recording secretary. So Barbara's at every meeting and gets everything down that we say. Almost. Yes. So does everyone have this letter? Okay, so if you could take that out for a second. The first thing I want to talk about is the stewardship program and the finances. So if you take a look at this letter, you don't have to read it right this second, but I have painstakingly written a beautiful letter to all of you. So please read it. But if you go to the second page, you're going to see income and expense. So just take a look at that for a second. And the reason why I'm bringing your attention to this is because I want to point something out. If you look at the January through December of 2015, it's going to be like $130,000 more than last year on income and on expense. And the reason for that is once we went into sale mode on the building, meaning in July when the building sold, much of what we were doing in the building to bring in extra income stopped. So we pretty much stopped the rental income. So it was down $92,000 from the year before. So that's important to note. That's really what that is. And if you look at the expenses as well, those expenses also have to do with the expenses that came in from running the building. So that's the difference there. Now, if you also look at what I'm projecting, the projected bottom line for 2016 is negative $2,261, which would mean that we would be in the red by $2,261. So now I'm going to ask you to, first of all, when it comes to the stewardship packets, the stewardship this year is so easy to accomplish because it's all online now. So you just go to our website, click on stewardship, and it lets you tell us exactly how you are going to be a steward. It lets you set up recurring payments. Many people who are not here tonight have already paid their recurring payment. It shows up early in the morning on Sundays. That's what keeps this center so financially solvent, because people are thinking ahead that even if I can't be there, I'm supporting my spiritual center. So really give that some thought when you're thinking about your stewardship this year. Now let's go to the annual report. Now, you'll notice, for those of you who have been to these meetings before, our annual reports are usually really thick, and you get to see what the music department's doing and this and that. Well, we just finished a brand new website that, Sandy, would you stand up and take some applause for? Sandy has designed and done a major job with our brand new website. So everything that would have been on here is on this new website. And I just didn't want to kill any more trees. You know, it's a tree day. This whole thing about trees. So please go to the website, check out our new website, and you'll see everything the departments are doing. What you have on the inside of our annual report is, on the left, shows you kind of all the people that are in leadership. You know, starting with me, going into our assistant ministers, Lori Savage, Joselito, our music department, all of our practitioners in training. And if you look at this, you see, by the time this practitioner group is done, we will have over 30 practitioners at this center. And that's pretty amazing, because everything depends on consciousness. So to have 30 practitioners all living in principle, on principle, spreading all of that through this congregation, that's what I think really creates an amazing center. In the Board of Trustees, and then Brent Braun, who is the center administrator, but really the office manager. We don't really have a center administrator right this second. We really have more of an office manager. But Brent does answer all of your questions, and he will be the one that you interact with should you call the office. So let's look at the income. Let's look at the P&L on the other side of the page. I apologize. I realize now I didn't do what this adds up to, but it's approximately what's on the other page, the negative 2,000. So if you look at our income from 2015 to 2016, again, that has to do with, if you look at the rental income of $111,510, last year it was $192,000. So just going from the beginning, class income, last year we had 70,000, this year we have 48,000. That has to do with a ministerial class. When there's a ministerial class, our class income goes way up, because the ministerial class is the most expensive and it is the most intense of all the classes. So we benefited from that last year. There is not a ministerial class this year. Contributions, you see, are actually up $20,000 this year. I know, right? Fundraising income is down. Part of that is the fact that we really did not focus on fundraising this year. We did not do a lot of them. And I will tell you the truth. Part of that is because Suzanne Benoit, when she stepped down off the board, we weren't paying attention, because Suzanne used to run fundraising and keep a very clear eye on it. And so the good news is I have asked her to come back and run fundraising. Not being on the board, she doesn't have to do that, but she gets to run fundraising. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. So that's why, but here's the great news. Even though we did not have someone actively running fundraising, we pretty much stayed where we were the year before. So I'm not interested in staying where we were the year before in any of this. I'm interested in constantly growing. So that's what Suzanne and I are going to do this year, right, Suzanne? Right. Rental income, I already talked about. Store income, we don't really have a store anymore, because it's not something I want to put my attention and focus on, to find everybody to run a bookstore in the back of the room, because everything goes into that closet. So that's something we will talk a little bit about. whether or not you all feel that you want a bookstore. We have a beautiful bookstore at the office, and most of our books are being sold through that bookstore. You know, when you take a class, it's all right there for you. So that's the financial side of store income. So $495,333 is our total income for the year. Expenses, bank fees always stay about the same place because it's all bank fees based on what we bring in. Class expenses, it looks lower only because we had less class money to distribute to the teachers. Fundraising expenses are what they are. Hospitality, you'll see that we spent money this year in hospitality. That is because we are funding our events. There will be a stewardship event, which will celebrate all the stewards this coming year. That's part of where we fund that in hospitality. Insurance was down a little bit. That had to do, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jennifer, that had to do with our workman's compensation plan going down in a good way. Internet website.
No major accidents.
And no accidents, yes. Internet website, pretty much the same as last year. Marketing was way down. And before, I thought, oh my God, people are going to be like, why aren't you spending the money in marketing? Well, come July, we didn't know what to market because we didn't know where we were going to be. So we didn't want to really start any kind of big marketing campaign when at any moment we would be somewhere else and have to pay the money again to remarket anything that we would be doing. So that's what that's about. But I can guarantee you, the new year, the budget of the new year will have a substantial amount of marketing because we want people to know we're here. We want people to start bringing their families here. We want people to get the message. Ministerial expenses, pretty much the same. That's when I go to Starbucks. That's not true. No, that's not true. It's just things I need for the office and such throughout the year. Office expenses went down because starting in July, we started to really curtail what were we buying. We don't know what we need yet. Personnel pretty much stayed the same. Some of the personnel went up because of the move, because we had to hire people to help us move, and that goes into personnel. Professional fees, that is lawyer fees, accounting fees, that sort of thing, and I will talk about that after I finish this. Rent, the rent is a little higher because come November, come October, we had deposits to put down on the space, deposits to put down on the new offices. So we paid a little double. We were double dipping a little bit in October and November, so that's why this is a little higher. Store expenses pretty much evens itself out. Rental expenses, you may notice this huge change between 2015 and 2016. Part of that is that as the facilities manager of the NoHo Arts Center, Kevin Bailey's salary was put in this category last year for half of the year till we redid how we were paying for office facility manager. But $8,450 was our standard up to that point. And there will be no more rental expenses because we're not a building that rents out to other people anymore. Isn't that good? Yes. Trust me, it leaked on Thursday in the new offices, just a little drop that Brent had a coffee cup. And I walked by and I went, what's that for? He went, we have a little leak. He said, and I already called them and it's their problem. And he was like, isn't it nice to know you don't have to go figure out the leak? I was like, oh my God, it's great. Where's Kevin? Back here. Yes. Utilities, this is going to go way down because that's what it costs to light a 9,000 square foot theater with intense lighting throughout the whole use of the building, especially when there was a show in there. They were pretty much using that lighting 24/7 during Tech Week. And water. And then worship service expenses, we did manage to bring that down a little bit, and it's actually going to go down a little bit more in this coming year. So basically, when I said that we would be $2,000 in the red, that was taking everything up through today, and then taking 1/24 of the income and adding it in, and 1/24 of the expenses and adding it in. However, my good news is that I believe we will not be in the red when we finish this year. There have been some really generous end-of-year contributions, and I invite you all to still consider your contributions for the end of the year. And this is what I'm so excited to talk about, which is our online presence. On Friday, I opened a card, and it was just a card sent to me, and it was from a woman in Palm Desert. And she said, I just want you to know I watch your services online, and what you are doing at the Global Truth Center is so transcendent, and it is so moving us all forward. And I watch every week, and she sent us a check for $2,500. And we have our gifts from one of our members in Michigan sent us a $200 year-end gift. So that's how I see this ministry moving forward, just expanding. Yes, I want bigger footprints. I want a Global Truth Center here and a Global Truth Center there, but I want a Global Truth Center there so that it is out in the world and we are expanding in all directions. So I do not think we are going to end in the red. I believe we are going to end in the black for this year and be set up to move into the next year with an even more expansive idea. So, any questions about finances? Connie? Oh. No, is everybody clear on finances? Yeah, Adam? Hold on. Thank you, because I'm going to do that. Right? Would you? I love that. We couldn't have a more beautiful microphone runner. This is Sarah Goodson. So, professional fees, accountant or bookkeeper. And thank you, you led me perfectly into it. So, that's why they pay me. What's the consultant? Yes, it's also Alex Robert Holmes when he was working in the office. Professional fees, when we have somebody come in and work like the classes. Right now, Gareth is running the class on Wednesday night. David Allen Cruz is running it on Thursday as his gift to us. But we have a lot of people that we hire. So that goes in there. But the big one is legal fees. About, how many, 6 years ago, 4 years ago? 2010, around 2010, about 6 years ago, we had the assessor's office come in and tell us we weren't a church and take away our tax exemption on our building, which meant that we went from paying $3,000 a year to $26,000 a year. Now, when they came and did that was the exact time I was diagnosed with cancer. And it just was not on my horizon to deal with it. So the board, in their beautiful support of me, we just paid it for the first 2 years, 3 years. Up to $165,000 we have paid. But I think it was about 3 years we paid it. Then once I was back to my senses, I called an attorney and said, this is unfair and we should never have been denied this exemption. And we brought in a what is he called? Rick Izumi? Tax advocate. Now he goes in, he used to work for the assessor's office. He goes in and he looks to see, looks at both sides of it and then counsels the person to say, you kind of owe the taxes, or no, you might have a case. Rick Izumi not only felt we had a case, he was horrified and has done much of his work pro bono. He's just cannot believe that they think that this is not a church. Purely because it was in a theater, they felt we were a theater trying to get away with saying we were a church. So it's been an ongoing battle, and I've been in and out of the assessor's office, and I've had many, many meetings, and now it's in its final stages. So a lot of that, probably about $10,000 of that maybe, is this lawyer's fee. We have hired a law firm in Pasadena who does this type of tax work. And here's where we are with this. When we sold the building, it had to be paid. So the owners of the building, myself, Kevin, Marcy, Al, and our partner, Doug Hutchinson, we paid all of the taxes. So $165,000 of taxes have been paid, and we have now sued the assessor's office for it back. The judge in the case has pretty much let the other side know that we have the case. He doesn't see you have no idea how much had to be provided. Every one of our service programs, even the shows that we produce under our theater ministry, arts ministry, everything. This was intense work. Kevin did amazing job putting it all together and providing the city with what they needed to hear. So we went to a pre-hearing, and the judge basically said, I will put this on the docket the first of the year, this year, and let's just try this and be done with it, letting our attorney know that pretty much it's going our way. The assessor's office decided that they wanted a summary judgment. The purpose of that, we believe, is that he can't get a summary judgment until January of 2018. So right now we're in a little bit of a waiting to 2018 for the judge to say, look at the summary judgment, say no to it, and then they have to set a hearing to try the case. So it's about kind of, we feel like it's just they're waiting us out to think if we're going to give up. Do any of you think this board looks like it's going to give up on $165,000? No. But here's the other thing to look at. $165,000 means that that's really what we would have in the bank if we had continued to just pay our normal amount of money. And I'm excited to know that I believe that is coming back and we will have much good to do with it. So that's what that fee is. Yes. Any other questions? Okay.
Sorry, that's
Yes.
the city that's pursuing you for that?
Yes, the city.
County.
County. Yeah. County of Los Angeles, the county's assessor's office. It was a drive-by. It was. They drove by the building. Someone from the assessor's office saw the show we were producing, said that there was no reference to a church being here, which, by the way, this was the theater and this was the church on Magnolia. They came right back and found it and still kept going. So it was a drive-by, then they met with me, and I was like, no, I'm really a minister. I'm not just a director. And they were like, no, we don't see it that way. So that's where we are. But I feel very confident that we are going to prevail. And you know what? If we don't, I also believe life unfolds perfectly. So there you go. I'm not counting on that at all. I expect it, but I'm not counting on it. I'm moving forward. So any other questions before I move forward? Okay. So Reverend Nancy, do you want to come back up here and talk to them for a moment? You each get like a minute about practitioners. The practitioner corps here is so, so important. And Reverend Nancy and Caressa McElhaney are in charge of the practitioners. You're good right there.
I'm good right here. That's what I said. I'm good right here. How many of you have had a session with a practitioner? I just want to suggest that you consider giving yourself a gift of sitting with a practitioner for a session. It might be a half hour, it might be an hour. It can change your life. It changes my life every time I get into one of those spots where I can't seem to find my way out of the little rabbit warren thingy bobber, and I call a practitioner and they just go like, wow. You go like, in a moment, you're brought right back to center, because when I'm in that place and you're in that place and we're open to hear, to know what is there to be known, it just reveals itself. And the miracle to me, but that's a normal, it's not a miracle, is that so very often when someone comes to you when they're very upset and they have issues and we go through it and we're ready to treat, we talk about it and we're ready to treat, and I'll say, what do you want treatment for right now? And they'll go, I don't know. I just don't know right now. I don't know. And I said, don't worry about it, because Spirit knows. And after the treatment is over, 9 times out of 10, 99 out of 100, they say, how did you know that? How did you know to say that? That was exactly what I needed to hear. So it's that infinite knower that's in you and in me, and it knows. And all it takes is a willingness, and sometimes just picking up the phone and saying, I really need to make an appointment with you. That's 50% of it right there. So give yourself the gift. As part of your gift to yourself this holiday season, consider having a session with a counselor, with a practitioner, with a professional practitioner licensed by the state of California through the United Centers of Spiritual Living.
Can you give that to Sharon? No, you're good. Hold on to that. No, hold on to that, Sarah. Here you go. So right on the heels of that, Reverend Sharon Kelly is in charge of, yeah, you're good. Thank you, Nancy. Yes. Oh, thank you, Broadway. Reverend Sharon Kelly is in charge of pastoral care and InReach. InReach is what you just heard, the things we provide within our community for our community, that's why practitioners are so important and why they are the bedrock of this center. So pastoral care.
So, and you can see in this agenda that we have here, that we have a lot of practitioners. We're very strong practitioners, and we have an upcoming class of practitioners. So part of our pastoral care to reach out to our community is taking place right now with our practitioners, and we'd like to enhance that so people really know how powerful this is whenever we need some help in our lives. And what we also want to do is take our pastoral care to another level where we can just enhance it by letting our community know that when they face serious illness, when they're in the hospital, that we need to be able to let them know that we have a program for them. We have a lot of we have a whole big team really of people that can respond and do respond and want to be there to support you and all of our community in these kinds of situations. So that's one thing we'll be doing during this next year, is really trying to highlight it and really promote it to our community so that when these things happen, they know what's available to them. So we look forward to that. I think 2017 is going to give us the opportunity to really, really enhance what we're currently doing, using all of the team that we have, which is a strong team of practitioners.
And some of the things we've done, I mean, if someone is sick, we help them get to the doctors, we put teams together. If someone needs home visitation, we have set schedules up so that a practitioner is every single day with someone as they're recovering. Certainly if someone is transitioning, that's one of Reverend Nancy's big positions, and Terry Taylor as well, to go and be with them, to be with the family, as I have done many times, as Nancy has done. So that's what we're here to do for everyone. And it doesn't just stay in our community. If you have someone and you need us to help, we're there. Adam?
There's two things I wanted to bring forward. Thank you. When I was ill, you came and you were with me, and you gave me a great deal of help. And that's one of the reasons I'm with you, because you really helped me out a lot. I needed it. Secondly, I want to point out that this our organization, our church has practitioners, or we all should be considered practitioners, not licensed practitioners. That's a choice that you have to make, and of course the church has to make it also in your stead. But you are all, or you should be all, aiming at being practitioners, being able to sit down and to work through the problems that you have with the teachings of the faith.
True, and it's true. Everyone is a practitioner. Licensed is a whole different thing. But everyone, here's the deal. If you're using your mind, and you are, the law is listening. That's all practitioner work is. But we do it for a specific purpose, focused. Yes, Ellen.
Just a quick, I don't know if it's a question or an observation. Last year when the Practitioner Corps was helping Joe, one of the things that came up was congregants were asking, how can we help? So I'm just kind of throwing it out there in terms of these types of needs, that there are people in our congregation that want to be able to be of service. So I'd like us to look at ways that we can incorporate that as well.
I think that's a great idea. Yes, yes. Okay, so yes, Reverend Nancy? Hold on, this is for the internet people.
Oh, thank you. Just one quick thing. It's sad if someone has had a challenge and we don't know about it. Sometimes that person isn't willing to reach out themselves, or don't think they can or should or whatever. So if you know of someone, let Reverend Sharon know, or let one of us know, so that we can be there if they want us to be there. That's all.
And to piggyback on that, very often people are embarrassed in this science to even be considered having a challenge. Why do I have a challenge? Oh, I'm equal to this. And it keeps them kind of closeted about it. And it always makes me very sad that someone's gone through an amazing, and then they show up, I haven't seen them in months, and they're like, here's what happened to me. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? My philosophy has never been to call people and see, I haven't seen you in a while, how come I haven't seen you? Mostly because I believe that people come and go as they choose and as they need to. But I am reaching out now to make sure, like if Sarah knows that this person isn't doing well and is to tell me so that I can reach out just from a loving place. It's going to take a community to take care of our community. So that's great. Thank you, Ellen. Okay, now Lori Savage is the head of outreach, and she is not here this evening. Lori, she's online. And she first was going to talk about, she is starting up the women's group again. She will be the new lead of the women's group that will start as we go into 2017, yes. So I'm excited. And Nancy Jo Perdue will be assisting her. So it'll be Lori Savage and Nancy Jo Perdue. So I think that will be a wacky, fun women's group. I can tell you that. But the head of outreach for many years and kind of oversees outreach is sitting to my left, so she will talk to you a little bit about outreach.
If she can get the microphone. So you've just heard all about InReach. So we have a wonderful community here, and we want, with outreach, to share our community with the community at large. So we've just completed our Camp Laurel toy drive. We do that annually. We have built homes for Habitat for Humanity, thanks to our congregation's generosity. We have built a village in Nepal when they needed it. This community has been incredibly generous in showing the community at large what you can do with a single mind. And our goal is to create an even bigger outreach program. Years ago, I don't even know how many years ago, I'm sure you've all seen the picture, is it up again, in the new offices?
Yep.
Of the school we built in Malawi. I think that was the first year.
That was
I
the
did
first
outreach.
thing we did, yeah.
That was the first thing we did. So we want to do more. We want ideas. If I had Lori's phone number, since she knows how much I like to speak, I'd be giving it to you right now, so she could call. You could call her and give her all of your suggestions. But you can call the offices. You can email Lori, James, myself. We want ideas. We can't do everything every year, but we certainly can try to bring our energy and passion and oneness to the big community. So there you go.
Great. And I just want to say thank you, because you did start outreach at this center. I mean, when we were in the early days, and our finances were great, they were healthy, but they weren't like exploding. We were staying always current. And Marcy came in and said, we're building a school in Malawi, and it's going to cost, was it $40,000?
It was $28,000.
$28,000, and none of us flinched. We went, we'll do it, and we did it. And it was a lesson, because when there are things that are in need and it reaches out, it will always find itself being fulfilled. And that's what we believe. And then the Guatemala, that thing we built last year, the playroom for them, it's just been an amazing journey. So I'm excited about that. Last but not least, Connie Milner. She will talk to us about the children's program. Because this is really important to me. We are our children. So our children really are the future of what's going on around here.
That's so true, Reverend James. Thank you for bringing me in there.
Yeah.
So, yes, I brought up my partner in crime, Martha Villar. Everybody applaud Martha. We have such a great program set up for the kids right now, and we're really excited to see how this unfolds for us as a community. We have, to give you just kind of a quick view of what we do, when the kids come and they get signed in, they go to that really cool playground that's up there with all the equipment that scares the holy you-know-what out of me because it's really high. But they love it, and they giggle and they play, and it's really fun. Then we go back downstairs into our classroom, and we have a tithing circle. And they learn that tithing is we can give our talents and we can give our time and we can give our treasure. And they draw little pictures or they speak words and they put them in a little bag and we pass it around after saying the tithing affirmation. What is that called? The prayer. Then we have a meditation. Today's meditation was mandalas. They were coloring mandalas in silence. And then we have an opening prayer for the whole group. And we have a quick talk about what our topic is. Today was the gift. When we give a gift, we're not just giving it away, we're giving something to ourselves. So the kids, the Gloyos, sat down and made gifts to give somebody in the room. Had to be somebody that was in this room. And that was their gift for the day. And then the teens.
And then for us, we took that and just kind of talked about how, you know, in this time right now, we're all really focused on giving to others and what am I going to give to my mom and my friends and whatnot. So we talked about, okay, what are we giving to ourselves? How are we giving ourselves some gifts that are not necessarily monetary, but like, what are we doing that, you know, enhances or expands ourselves? And then we also intentionally created a gift by becoming equivalent to something. And we either talked about that, what is it that we're going to intentionally give to ourselves by activating it and putting it out into the universe. And so the teens, you may have, if you received something from one of us, it was probably some sort of affirmation, putting it into positive, you know, language in the I am, and that it's already happened. And so helping them understand that it's not, this is what I want, but this is what I am, this is what I have. And then putting it out there by giving it to somebody else. So that's what we did today.
So that's a taste of what we do on Sundays with the kids. And it's a lot of fun. It's really exciting. But there's more. There's so much more to be done. And it does take a village. It absolutely takes the whole community to do all of this. So Reverend James and I put something on the calendar for January 24th, which is a family day or a family night. And the congregation is invited, families are invited, and we get a taste of what's going on in youth ministry. The teens will lead you on a workshop. And the little ones will talk to you about what they do. Martha and I will get up and talk to you. And you can give to us and say, you know what would be better than that? Or you know what would be even greater than what you're doing? And we will go, thank you. And we will take that and incorporate it into what we're doing. Because we're both really excited about how this is all going to play out and how great this program is going to be. We've already doubled our Gloyos just being here. We went from a few little ones to 12. It's incredible. So, And
in terms of the teens, we've gotten at least 4 or 5 different teens that just happened to have heard from a friend to a friend. I think we even had 2 teens about 3 weeks ago that literally had met somebody from our congregation like 2 years ago. And then now the time made it available for them to be able to come. And so it's definitely getting the word out there. Right now, it definitely is about just having backing and support and, you know, of the parents of, you know, the kids, so they can get here and they can be involved in the teaching and then now being involved in how to expand themselves on purpose.
Great.
And that's we do need volunteers. And I'm going to say it this way, though. I don't want to say, come help us, we need your help. What I want to say is come be with us. Share with us who you are and share with our children who you are and how they can take that into the next level and take that into their lives. And just think what a gift that is to the world, that you brought your energy and yourself to these children who are going to bring us into the next years and decades and millennium. So thanks, guys. Thank you for giving us so much extra time.
Okay, so there's many, many, many aspects of this center. The classes are ongoing. That's really my passion. My passion is education, to just get this message out there. We're looking for so many different ways of teaching this stuff. You know, I am so with Reverend Jay, although I don't expect Reverend Jay to be here long. He's got it. Some church has to nab him up. Yes, and then we'll just work in conjunction with those churches. But Reverend Jay and I, you know, as we look at the arts ministry, we want to do movies. We want to shoot messages. We want to flood YouTube with ideas, but not just lectures, like real creative stuff, which I want people to just, you know, get involved with. So there's many, many aspects of this center. In-reach, outreach, children's program, arts program, the music ministry, these guys, the tech crew, Anthony, you know, Christian, you know, they yeah. they work on all of this, and it really does take a village and a lot of people to make this work. We haven't even begun to start our 3-camera shooting here. I see Don Zen's in the back there. He's going to be assisting us as we create this new video format to create 3 brand new HD cameras to take this way more into the professional world of what live streaming is all about. And that's going to take funding. That's going to take raising money to be able to do that. So many aspects. There's one aspect that I didn't talk about, and it was during outreach. So Ellen, if you would just come up, and that is our prison ministry, which Ellen is the head of.
Thank you. Do you mind if I do it from here? Is that okay? Okay, good.
Oh, but you got to be up high enough that they get you.
Can you see me? All right, good. So some of you already know that I started a prison ministry about, I guess it was a year ago maybe? Not even quite. The reason I started it is I volunteer for a program called Freedom to Choose through my grad school, University of Santa Monica. And twice a year we go into the prisons and do this very experiential program with the inmates. And it's all spiritual psychology. And during one of those sessions or one of those weekends, one of the men stood up. He was, I think, in his 60s. And he shared that this was the first time in his whole life that he had ever felt love from anyone. His whole life. And in that moment, my heart literally just broke open. And many of these men and women have not experienced what we experience here every Sunday. And had they had the teen program, I guarantee you, probably 99.9% of them would not be in prison. And so what I decided to do was I wanted to do more. I wanted to be more of service. And I started the Prison Pen Pal program. And I have some information about it here. I have letters with me here. I need people that are interested in becoming pen pals and corresponding. It's something you can do once, you can do as many times as you want, and it's really just about corresponding to somebody who's looking for connection with your heart. And I wanted to just read a card that I just received. We had a prison weekend, first weekend in December, and announced about the program in the prison. And I got a card that said, "Sharing the joy of Christmas with you." And he writes, "Writing to request placement on your Pen Pal program. But moreover, I wish to express my most sincere thanks and appreciation for sacrificing your time and supporting me on my mission to inspire love and hope in the lives of others. May this holiday season bring you all love, joy, and peace. Have a safe and wonderful and blessed holiday season. With agape love, always, Carlos." And I've not even met Carlos. So what I'm inviting you to do, and also for those of you online, if you're interested and you're here today, come grab a sheet. If you're ready to jump in, I have some letters. If you're interested online, just email revellenfaith@gmail.com. That's REVELLEN faith. That is my middle name. revellenfaith@gmail.com. And I will get information to you. And again, I open this up to whoever would like to participate. And this is just the beginning. I'm looking to expand the prison ministry, to do a lot more. Nancy Jo wants to take her Stand Up for Truth into the prisons, so I'm starting to explore that and other programs. So if you have experience with prison ministry from other centers or you have some ideas, come talk to me. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ellen. Thank you, Ellen. Hey, Sarah, could you just give that to Pat? But did you have something, Pat? No, the online people won't hear you.
I was just wondering about getting into LA County prison, jail, because a lot of these men are AB 109, and that means that they'll be there for a lengthy period of time instead of prison, and I could help you with that. Have you ever gone to try to get in there? Because I have a lot of contacts,
That's good. So if you could
yeah.
talk to Ellen
Yeah, I'll
afterwards,
talk
that'd be
to you.
great. Okay, good. So before I close, because I've covered everything almost, this is my chance to say to you, so this you might be running around. Does anyone have any questions about the center, anything that they might need an answer to in this forum? Good. Well, the truth is, this is a very transparent church. There's nothing behind any doors that you don't know about. Yep. So, thank you. She's just writing me these little notes. So, 2017, since you're here at this meeting, you'll know, our theme for the year is going to be Step It Up, UP, Unlimited Potential and Power. And then our little motto, that's the theme. The motto is Coming Clean in 2017. So our job is going to be to just strip away all the crap that doesn't work and then step it up. Because once your weight is off, once you're lighter and you get rid of all the crap, now you can go higher because you're lighter. Get it? So that's what we're going to be doing. As far as the fundraising is concerned, please, any ideas you have about fundraising that you think would be a great fundraising idea, send them to Suzanne Benoit, and she is on the website. She's a practitioner, so you have her email there. Send them to Suzanne Benoit and copy me on it so that she and I both get them at the same time and we can discuss what's going on. 2 dates that you can put in your calendars. The Stewardship Brunch, for everyone who's a steward, the Stewardship Brunch will be on February 12th, and that will be for all the stewards, not just the high givers. It's for all of the stewards, February 12th. And the gala this year, we're starting really early to make sure, next year, 2017, the gala will be on Saturday night, October 21st. So Saturday night, October 21st. We're not sure, is that your birthday or something? I know, but we're usually telling you like a week before about things. Now we've learned. October 21st, get it on your calendars. And this gala this year, we're not sure where we're going to do it or what it's going to be, but we are thinking major out of the box. So let's see where we end up. I do not have dates on Guatemala. I did have dates. We've just changed them. They're going to be in July, August. So we're not going in May because so many of our teens want to go. And I think when I took Nora last year, it changed her life. So I love the idea that I know your daughter really wants to go, to really get these teens over there to work with these orphans and see a whole different life. It's going to be amazing. So it will be July or August, but we're getting that very shortly, and we'll get that back to you. Anything else before I say thank you? Thank you. So thank you for all of you being here. Thank you, everyone online, for being here, and thank you for those who watch this later. Thank you for staying up with us and for understanding. Please get your stewardship forms in. We have done a budget, but we will revise that budget based on what our stewardship pledge drive is. So let us know what we need to know financially for this center. That is it. So if you're all good, then we will close ourselves out. Okay. So Reverend Jay, do you want to close us out? I keep knowing Reverend Jay as the spiritual director of his own center, so every year I think it's his last year to be in our membership meeting.
So you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable, but you got to know that God doesn't care if you close your eyes. So if you don't, I spoke with her yesterday. Take a deep breath and know that there is one mind, there's one divine, beautiful, luxurious, illuminated power that is shining in each and every one of us right here, right now. And as we conclude this meeting of the Global Truth Center community, this organization that is empowered by your love in whatever form that comes in your talent, in your treasure, in your time, that the Global Truth Center moves forward in its prosperity. And that's not just money. That's people in the seats, people online, all of the prison ministry, the arts ministry, all the classes progressing forward. We know, because we're here, that this is happening now. There's a moving forward that is so exciting, that is so full of love, that is so enlightened by this community that it has no other choice but to move up and forward and out. So let us know together as we end this meeting that this is the truth. And this truth now becomes fact. And the Global Truth Center shines, not only in Los Angeles, but in India, in China, in Spain, in South America, in anywhere that has a computer, that has a consciousness for moving forward and being prosperous in their lives. I know that to be true. I know my word to be true. And as we end this meeting, let's know it together. The consciousness of moving forward, prosperous at the Global Truth Center. So with gratitude, I release this word, knowing it to be true, knowing the universe says, yes, thank you. Thank you for saying so. And now it is done. As together we say,
And so it is. Thank you, Jay. Have a great night, everyone.